solar return for this experience. The For those of you who are new here, if anyone, the format is usually I talk for up to 10 minutes and let people to give a chance for all the people who are coming, who may still be joining to arrive, and we settle in together. So I'm settling in as you are. And I usually open by sharing where I am with my practice presently, just being present with that, and being as open and authentic as I can with sharing that. It's been a challenging last few weeks for me. Not externally. Nothing has changed in my external environment. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, I'm physically well, a little achy with the cold weather coming in, but no big health issues, no changes in financial circumstances, no changes in environment. And yet there's been just kind of an emotional and spiritual experience of being chaotic. And I identified the chaos as arising from not having faith in what has been my authority system. I'm usually very confident of my intuition, and I have not been so confident. I'm having kind of an existential crisis of not only do I not know, there is no way to know. When I peel the layers of testing what is reality, I can't arrive at any solid foundation. Everything seems to be perception and internal experience. Yeah, I can't prove there's any out there. And that's been, unsettling to say the least. And yet I, managed to function, pay my bills, show up to my obligations. But that has been my challenge in practice. I woke up this morning and I usually, or often, I won't say usually, often greet the deities, Medicine Buddha, Papa Legba, my Norse goddess, Mama Hela, and Padme Lama Dusolma. And as I was doing that this morning, there was another voice in my head that says, I don't even know if you exist or if you're all in my head. And Papa Legba actually responded, I exist. And whether I exist only in your head or somewhere else externally, it really doesn't matter. And so I've been sitting with that today, that piece of information of if nothing exists, outside of my consciousness, does it really matter? So as as bizarre as that feels and sounds to say out loud, I brought that to the Sangha because that is what is for me today. And and yet, I practice. I practice today. I've been practicing most days, and I've been at this long enough to know that God is not disturbed by my doubts, nor is God dependent on my emotional state. So there is a reality that is unchanging, that I believe in most days. And whether my faith falters or not does not change the state of the multiverse. So so I continue to, in some ways, go through the motions, and in some ways cling to the anchor of my practice. As and I know that this state is temporary because, again, it's not my first time through this cycle. And I continue to be blessed by the mysteries of the universe that unfold in mundane places. I watched a movie, like a streaming movie, Amsterdam, and there was a line in there where she talked about kind of the waves of experience, that there are some periods where you're on the top of the wave, or uh, having a peak experience and a high, but that is always temporary, that the cycle continues and there will be a low. But that that supported my faith, because the fact that there will be a low means there will also be another high, that we don't stay the same. We go through changes in our life, and each of us may have different external circumstances, but I'm convinced that our internal experience of life as a human being is very, very similar. And so that's why I believe there's value in sharing my experience with you, because uh, uh, minimally you can say, well, at least I'm not as crazy as she is. But hopefully that will it'll be that, when I feel like that, if you haven't, you might possibly at some time, and you'll be able to refer back to this and say, I remember hearing someone talk about this experience. So it's not me going crazy, because it can feel like that. Again, the first time I went through this, I was a lot more frightened that I was, losing it and I would never come back from it. But that is that has not happened yet. I won't say it can't happen, but it has not happened yet. I've been through these periods where I just didn't feel like I had any ground to stand on or anything to hold on to, and I didn't have any faith in the things that had sustained me up to that point. And my message kind of to you is that those periods are survivable, and we're going to use some of the practices Lama Rod has taught us tonight to support us in that. And I did write a poem about a week ago that I would like to share with you. And it was inspired by a poetic work by Shelley Harrell, who is an African American clinical psychologist, and she does healing work um, with Black people, people of the African diaspora, on emotional emancipation. And the poem she wrote is called Sawubona, and it has three stanzas. And it was listening to that, a recording of that poem, and I was inspired to write this poem. So before I read it, let's just touch into the space around us in a grounding way. So just notice your body and get in the most comfortable position that you can, in your circumstances, and settle into that and let the earth support you in the form of a chair or the floor or the ground or the bed or whatever is holding you. And take a deep breath and just feel that support like a full body hug, because the earth always holds us. And whether that external experience is all in my imagination, or if there's an external chair beneath my butt and an external floor beneath my feet, then I am going to just sit in gratitude that I'm being held. I'm always being held. And I'll share my poem with you. I see the truth. I see the truth of who I am. I see the truth of who you are. I see the truth. I hear the truth. I hear the truth of who I am. I hear the truth of who you are. I hear the truth. I feel the truth. I feel the truth of who I am. I feel the truth of who you are. I feel the truth. I am the truth. I am the truth of who I am. I am the truth of who you are. We are the truth. And given what I told you leading up to the poem, you can see that was aspirational. The in the moment, it was very real to me. But as I read it today, yeah, I see that it was a gift to help sustain me through what was coming. This feeling of not knowing, and the chaos of that. So as we move into practice, we've connected with the earth. Take a few deep breaths and call in your guides and protectors. We're going to move through parts of the homecoming circle before, maybe all of it, before we move into the mantra practice tonight, to just give ourselves the opportunity to be present with all of our healers, supporters, and protectors. When I first started with Lama Rod, he would often do a visualization with Medicine Buddha, where we would see Medicine Buddha in front of us and then see Medicine Buddha kind of filling our body, and us being Medicine Buddha, being in the body and being the body of Medicine Buddha. And then Medicine Buddha being kind of shrunk down in size so that he fit in our heart. And we would visualize Medicine Buddha in our heart. And that's kind of the idea behind this meditation with the homecoming circle. I want you to, the first homecoming is the Buddha, the teachers. And out of that group of teachers, guides, Buddhas, bodhisattvas, healers, deities, whatever is present for you, let one image rise up before you, one teacher. It can be a human teacher. It can be Lama Rod. It can be a divine teacher like Medicine Buddha, or any teacher of your choice, and see them before you. And then see yourself as them. And not just see them, you being the body, the embodiment of that teacher. Feel what they feel. Let yourself fully be present as the teacher. Match your energy to their energy and just breathe that in and be present with that. And the second homecoming is the teachings. And all of us have had many, many teachings over our lifetimes. Teachings from Lama Rod, teachings from other Buddhist teachers and Sangha leaders, teachings in um, schools, colleges, universities, workshops, Dharma teachings that come in all forms. But let one teaching, it might be a quotation, might be a work of art, a song, let one teaching just rise up in your mind's eye and fill your body and match your energy to the energy of that teaching. What rose up for me is love lifted me. But be present with that and just feel it. Feel yourself being the embodiment of that teaching. And our third homecoming is Sangha, sacred community. So of all the groups and circles and clubs and sanghas and organizations and churches, synagogues, mosques, reading book clubs that you've been in, friendship groups, I don't know, Girl Scouts. Let one of them rise up in your mind's eye, a place where you felt joy, peace, a place where you felt seen and heard. And match your energy to the energy of that. I'm going to call it a Sangha, no matter what the group was. A place where you had a sense of belonging. Brene Brown says the opposite of being, let's see, the opposite of being accepted is fitting in. Because when we fit in, we alter some part of ourselves to match the group. But this is a group where you did not have to alter yourself. There was no Petruscan bed where you had to cut off your feet or stretch yourself. You were just you, and you were felt accepted as your authentic self. And feel the energy of that. Next, I'm going to ask you to let go of any judgment about the order because I'm using my memory, and the next three I often get in not the order Lama Rod taught them to me, but we're going to get through all of them anyway. The next one being the earth. And the earth is a huge energy. And yet we live and move and have our being in that energy of earth, in our bodies, in our surroundings. We are held. Gravity, you know, holds us to the earth. But we also are part of that earth energy. You know, we have a physical manifestation in the earth, a presence. So let some representation of earth, doesn't have to be the whole earth, although it could be. It could be a crystal or a gift someone has given you. You know, a card, a ring, a reminder. Let some representation of earth rise up. Maybe your favorite mineral or crystal form. Feel the energy pulsing off of it. And then feel that same energy pulsing in you. Just match your energy to the powerful, healing, nurturing, supportive energy of earth. Let earth magic move through you. Kind of makes me want to dance. But let us move on. The next homecoming is ancestors. And ancestors come in a wide variety. And our relationship to ancestors varies widely. But I'm going to ask you to just invite a supportive, healing, loving ancestor to present to you. And you may or may not see this person's face or know who they are. It could be Harriet Tubman. It could be your great grandfather. It could be your mother who's transitioned. Anyone who has your best interest at heart, let them rise up and feel their loving, generous energy of this ancestor. And let that energy into your body. And our next homecoming is silence. When I think of silence, I think of space and dark. But silence can be light or dark. So, whatever silence means to you, it definitely is a place of peace or an experience of peace. So, let silence resonate in you, calming any thoughts, feelings, sensations, just letting everything quiet. like the volume being turned down on a stereo. Until there is no sound. And since sound is vibration, silence is still. So breathe in that stillness. And lastly, the self, your self. Let an image of yourself arise, your, your best self, your most authentic self, and your complicated self. Be present with what is. And commit to yourself to always be on your own side, to take care of yourself, to set good boundaries, to feed yourself nurturing food, relationships, experiences, thoughts, and teachings. And see yourself receiving the best of what life has to offer. And take a couple more breaths at that space. And then we're going to move into our mantra practice. And for those of you who didn't call up Medicine Buddha when we were calling up teachers, let's do that now in the form of our first mantra. And I'm going to start with an elongated Om and then repeat this mantra 3 times. And then we'll move into the second mantra. But this is the mantra that says, Medicine Buddha, I pray that you know and look upon me now. Om. Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha. Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha. Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha. And as we move into the second mantra, you can either repeat it aloud with me, or you can repeat it silently, or you can just listen and let the energy of the mantra wash over you and through you. And again, I'm going to start with an Om. Om. Om Teata, Om Bekanze, Ma Bekanze, Raza Sumagata Soha, Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. Teata ombe kanze be kanze ma be kanze raza sumagata soha. And the translation for that mantra is like this. I pray for the end of pain and suffering and the root of pain and suffering. I release the energy of this prayer to all the worlds so that we all may be liberated. And with that, we will move to our prayer document. And you can come with me or you can just listen. And if you still haven't added your prayers. If you'll go to the bottom of the document, you can add them as we start. And why we gather is for our own liberation and the liberation of all beings, because until all of us are free, none of us are free. And we pray for the liberation of all. And we pray specifically these prayers. Prayers to unfreeze my heart. Prayers for I, that they may have a gorgeous celebration of life today and all days. Prayers for D and T for steady recovery from surgery and illness. Prayers for all of us that we may meet and be transformed by life and love. Prayers that I find a healthy balance in helping others and tending to my own body's care and needs for healing from chronic illness. Prayers for my dear friend X and her sister who just lost their sweet brother. Prayers for my aching body as it heals through grief and sickness over the last few months. Pray that I find comfort and answers. Prayers for my dear friend as we navigate a new life through this fall season. Prayers for healing in my relationship. Prayers that we let go of ego and communicate in ways that create joy and stop causing harm. Prayers that I can move through specialist appointments and face realities with courage. Prayers that I can get some answers. Please allow my partner and I to move through financial issues as we work on my health, and prayers for this country. May we choose care and democracy and love. Prayers for liberation for all who are suffering from limitations from the past. Gratitude for all the support we receive from ancestors who care for us. Prayers that I might find the medicine I need to heal my chronic pain. Prayers that all those suffering from chronic pain and illness do the same. Prayers for my complete liberation. Prayers for the complete liberation of all. Prayers for Storm that he may be safe and find his future home. Prayers for KB as she passes through the Barda, for her hurting Dharma community as they navigate her loss and egregious misuses of power connected to her unexpected death. Prayers for land back. Prayers that I can be tender with myself as I move through so much grief. Prayers for those living in areas of war and need and poverty. Prayers for those in disaster areas looking for paths to rebuild, recover, and move forward. Prayers for all of those who are dealing with recent grief and loss and loved ones moving through the Barda. Prayers for families dealing with addictions, and prayers for all of us as we deal with the distractions, addictions, and challenges of living in a modern, westernized world. Prayers that we all find a path to freedom and wholeness and liberation. And let us return to the mantra. If you have prayers that you didn't type in or that were unstated, please feel free to speak them in your heart now. And we will chant the mantra for a few more minutes. Om Teata bekanze ma bekanze raza sumagata soha. 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 And we'll close our practice today with Shanti Deva's prayer, which I always think of as a dedication of merit. Do we have someone who wants to read the prayer or say the prayer? We have opportunities for up to 3 people. Just unmute yourself if you want to. And if not, I'll read it. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space. Volunteer for round 2. Going once, going twice. Julian.
May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, in a boat, a bridge, a passage, for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space.
Anyone else?
May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed, just like space. And the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space.
Thank you, Andrea. And I think we can end the recording here. But if there are any community members who want to speak into this space, I offer you that opportunity at this time. We've got about 8 minutes left on our official time. But anyone who wants to leave now, the practice is officially over.
Thank you so much, Sharon.
Thank you to the person who said they liked my poem earlier, and for all of you who are saying thank you in the chat. Thank you for your practice. This is always nurturing and supportive for me, and always surprising what experience I have here. So Lama Rod is traveling, but due to the magic of the internet, you can still offer Dana to Lama Rod on his website, and whatever offerings you would make for tonight's practice, should go to him for the continuation of these offerings and teachings. And you can find all of his numerous activities on that same website. And I think Randa posted earlier links to that document and that information. But I believe it's lamarod.com, so shouldn't be hard to find. And personally, I'm going to be with Lama Rod in Durham the first weekend of November. I think it's November 1st and 2nd. But that registration is also on the website. So if you'd like to join us there, I know Randa and Karen and I will be there, and Lama Rod. I don't know who else is coming, but it won't just be the four of us. So, um, if you've never been with Lama Rod in person, it's in some ways it's just like being with him here, and in other ways, it's just even more delicious. So I invite you all to participate in that way. And as I learned to say in 12-step rooms, if all hearts and minds are clear, I will see you here next time. Thank you all.